Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the weekend edition of EnCryptid Connections, or as we like to call it here, Weird Weekends. Um, Things did start off a little bit weird because for those of you who didn't catch the live I did earlier to fill you in on what's going on. So Miss Debbie and Miss Barbara were supposed to be on tonight, Sisters of the Moon. But what happened is they live in Texas, and it's kind of twofold. Miss Barbara has to leave her house in her car and go to a place where she can get signal to do this. And obviously Miss Debbie, she just lives down there. And if you looked at the weather in Texas, they are having some terrible, terrible storms. There's even earlier in the day, they were saying that there was going to be tornado warnings. This is before, there was even any tornadoes or anything like that. They were saying earlier, be prepared, it's going to be bad. So we decided to reschedule them for another night. So instead of Sisters of the Moon tonight, let me introduce you to the Brothers of Uranus. We have with us Can Squatch. How you doing, Cans?
Doing well. I had my coffee, rehydrating. I got my water.
Good, man. Good.
On a Friday night.
Right
it's
on.
Raining, it's raining here in town. Been raining most of the day. So a little cool.
That's good.
Hopefully get out maybe tomorrow afternoon or Sunday for sure. Going to be sunny.
Right on.
Cool. So it'll be perfect. Star-studded panel here. Thank you for the invite. I know I'm not as beautiful as Sisters of the Moon, but I'll do what I can.
That's okay. If we want beauty, we have David Devine.
Okay, all right. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be seen and glad to be here.
Oh, we're happy to have you. And then to round it all off with a voice like Fergie and Jesus, we have Bigfoot Lake. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing well, and it's a privilege to be up here with you gentlemen. I'm pretty sure I think we could pass as quadruplets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. We are sad to say.
Yeah,
that
David's like the oldest brother. Bigfoot Lake's like the next one. I'm kind of then, and then Kyle's like the whippersnapper of the group.
I sure am the whippersnapper. Yeah, I am. My mother would probably call me something different, but we won't use that terminology tonight. We are sad to say that the Brothers of Uranus are missing one person from the group tonight, and that is Chad Hurley. Chad Hurley is not here, but he is, if you know anything about the paranormal, he kind of inserts himself spiritually in David Devine at times. So hopefully tonight we'll hear from Chad.
I'm hoping. I hope we do. We do. He does pop up at the wrong time a lot of times in my life. So hopefully we can get to see him tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. So, I didn't really even have any plan for what we were going to do tonight. Honestly, I just wanted to come on and have fun. I really wasn't in the mood to cancel the show. I was like, man, I was really wanting to kind of be with my people. Since I live such a lavish lifestyle, I had so many things planned tonight, so many activities that I was going to do. Karate in the garage was one of them. Maybe build bunk beds with power tools with a close friend. Cutting pumpkins with samurai swords was another. But
you didn't tell us you had all that planned.
Yeah. That's just a normal Friday. Maybe nachos and possibly watch a Jazzercise video.
Okay, Karate in the Garage. I think that should be a podcast in itself. That's the perfect name.
I think it should too.
I like it. I brought lemon heads.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice. I thought you were going to bring pumpkins.
I got it all.
Oh, all right. Well, we're good to go then. We don't need anything else. So me and Bigfoot spoke a little bit. David, are you familiar with Indrid Cold at all and the Mothman prophecies?
Yeah, I am obviously from being from Ohio. It's kind of a thing here because it happened right over the border. Yeah, in West Virginia, right? Right, I'm on track with that. So they have the
yes, West Virginia. Yep.
This statue in the area there. I haven't actually been there. I've had friends shoot me pictures and tell me stories about staying down there and stuff. So yeah, I am familiar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk a little bit about that, and then just from there, wherever it takes us, it takes us. Doesn't have to be about Bigfoot. Doesn't be about paranormal. Whatever. This is kind of just one of those podcast nights where whatever happens, happens. Consider it like a. Have you ever seen? Has anyone ever watched? Probably not. I'm probably the only one in here who's ever watched The King and the Sting. Never
What?
seen that podcast? The King
Yeah.
and the Sting. It's my favorite comedian in the world right now. His name is Theo Von. This guy is hilarious. They got a podcast, and they just kind of just go, man. They just do whatever, and somehow it always ends up hilarious. But anyway, we'll start with Indrid Cold and the Mothman prophecies. So Bigfoot,
Awesome.
why don't you start us off?
No pressure.
None.
Just give us a
A lot.
rundown.
Actually,
Yeah, come on.
you start. I'm going to step away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Well, a lot of what I know about Indrid Cold was from the original stories from John Keel. And if you guys are familiar with the Mothman, that story, the Mothman wasn't technically even the prophet of the whole story. It was this mystery man named, I say man, Indrid Cold, and he interacted with a few people and gave out a warning of some things. But I'm going to wait for Kyle to come back before I go on too much, because I've learned a lot more about this Indrid Cold over the last, I don't know, week even, because we watched a new series that's on Amazon Prime, and it's called Hellier. And have either of you guys seen the series Hellier?
No, I heard you talking about it, I think, on one of your streams, though. Or somebody was talking about all the different plots that went along with it.
It's phenomenal. Anybody in chat, have you guys seen the series? There's 2 seasons of Hellier, and it's incredible. It's I couldn't pull away from it. It's just a phenomenal series, and I have no idea what's going on with Kyle's picture there.
He's got a.
It's
he's
me.
like
I'm
an
back.
Angry Bird. So
I'm back. I feel
so
good
is
now.
that's on Netflix? That's on Netflix, and it's spelled Hellier, like hell.
It's
Hellier.
Yep. It's
Hellier.
Hellier, and it's not on Netflix.
Oh,
you can
Hellier.
actually watch the first season on YouTube, and the second season you can catch on Amazon Prime. If you guys didn't know that, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get some access to great movies.
You do. It's. I'll tell you right now. We've talked about this before. I'm feeling a little bloated. Do I look bloated?
Yeah, a little.
This is the best I've ever seen you look, brother.
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
look
Appreciate
great. You look really great tonight.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
It's got to
so
be
yeah.
honest, I don't agree.
Yeah. Who invited you anyway? So I recommended it to Bigfoot, and it is one of my absolute favorite docuseries. It's amazing. It really is incredible. The twists and turns. There are so many connections in that thing. Like one part connects to another thing in the world of weird paranormal UFOs, extraterrestrials, and Indrid Cold is part of that connection. What do they call it? Synchronicities in that show.
Synchronicities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Kyle, I've had something stuck in my head for like a few days now, and I'm just gonna say it and see if you recognize this.
Okay, go for it.
You ready for it?
Yep.
Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, bing, bing. I do. I absolutely recognize that. Yeah. I shouldn't say it out loud for people who haven't seen it, but
Right.
Go ahead.
it's go ahead. Can says ruin it for everyone.
Just rip it. Yep.
Who cares?
Makes people. I think that always makes people watch things more closely if you tell them the details of what actually happens, even though you're ruining it more. That's just my
I'm not going to give away what happens. All I'm going to say is that there is what he was speaking about is a part in this show where they're doing an Estes method to contact these extraterrestrials or potential goblin creatures? And yes, sir.
I just want to say hi to my friend real quick. Two just popped in the chat. TJ Preps, hi.
Hey, TJ, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, Lake. Hi, Lake. Hi, Lake.
Make a cameo. Come on.
Lake, make a cameo. You're
Come on.
allowed. David Devine's in the chat, everybody. David Devine's in the chat.
I just entered chat. I'll be chatting with you folks now. Yeah.
David entered the chat.
I
David
just
Devine
entered
has entered the chat. Hi, Lake.
Lake.
I also wanted to mention too that Lake and Bigfoot Lake bought themselves Calm Down shirts and made videos regarding these shirts, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah, very awesome. Yeah, yeah, very great
I
video.
saw the hoodie.
Great
I like
video.
that. I like the hoodie. The first hoodie you got on there. I think that's the one I'm gonna get.
Thank you.
Yeah, the only problem is I tried the hoodie on and like if I raise my arms, it's like turns into like a belly shirt.
Oh, geez.
Ooh, can we see?
We'd like to see that.
Get the zip front one. Get the zip.
That's the way I designed it.
You don't want to see that. It was short on him before he raised his arms.
Yeah.
Crop tops are in. Just saying.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Although I'd like to see it, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So, they do this SD's method in this show multiple times, few times, to contact these beings or whatever, because there it is. Good. Nice. Guys, if you have not picked up your David Devine broadcasted merchandise, please go to his LinkedIn, which Cashew will drop in the chat in a second, I'm sure. It's right there, like I said, at the bottom of the chat. Please pick up some merch from David Devine Broadcasted. It's very, very nice quality stuff. Plus, it has a really nice mantra on it to remind you all to calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Right. Thank you.
There's a cashew bag.
Calm down cashew. Yeah.
Calm down cashew. Yeah. He's got a lot of good stuff on there. Inspires me. I need to get some merch made. I don't have a saying yet, though. That's the problem.
Maybe we'll come up with one tonight.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe Chad Hurley will come in and help you with it. We'll see.
Maybe Chad will. Handful of roofies.
That's always sounds like the start to a good time.
Handful of roofies in Hamptons.
In the Hamptons.
And
some disco lights.
That's right. Some Sperry's and an ascot.
Okay, all right.
I don't support any of this. Just putting that out there.
Oh man.
So Ingrid Cold.
Ingrid is a girl I dated when I was in junior high.
What is it? It's not Ingrid. It's Ingrid.
Indrid. Yeah, Indrid. Indrid Cold. Indrid Cold. It's like it's the new cold. It's kind of like COVID. It's the Indrid Cold. You got to get vaccinated for it. But yeah, so Indrid Cold pops up in the Mothman prophecies. He's the guy, they call him the Smiling Man. He's the guy that people come in contact with throughout, different parts of that, of what happened there in Point Pleasant in the bordering area or whatever. He showed up at people's houses at weird hours and warned them of things that were to come. He was the prophesizer, basically. He was the one that told everybody, hey, you need to stay away from the bridge. We didn't say it like that. He had these kind of riddles, like, he gave the date and then 47 dead or whatever it was, and these things came true, apparently.
Well, who saw or who did he prophesize to?
So, Bigfoot, you want to answer that? John Keel.
Okay.
That's one of them.
One of them. There were other people in town that he prophesied to also. So there was multiple witnesses to this man.
Hey Kyle, so you've heard the stories associated with as far as the Men in Black.
Yeah, well,
Now, it's almost like Endred Cold is a Man in Black. It's kind of like it's like if you're describing a Man in Black, it's like you're describing Endred Cold almost.
It's very similar physically to them, and he operates like one. He's in and out. You don't see him for but a quick minute. He's very mysterious, as they are. And that's a whole nother thing. Like, attached to Indrid is the extraterrestrial board of some things that he's a part of, apparently, like these overseers of Earth from outer space. There's like what would you call it? Bigfoot. What would you call like that?
And like an envoy or something. I don't know. It's
like it's like the United. It's like United Nations or like NATO, but like the galactic board of trustees or something for the cosmos, made up of these people from the alien races, apparently, that kind of watch what goes on here, and he's a part of that. From what I understand, as far as what I heard in Hellier, and then what I read from that parts of that book there that they had, and I forget the name of that book exactly. It was the Euphonauts.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a few other words in it too, but the Euphonauts was
something of the Euphonauts or whatever. Yeah. Crazy book, by the way. Really, really crazy stuff. After seeing that, I had to kind of browse through that thing and see what was going on, and it's some interesting, weird stuff.
I ordered multiple books from watching the Hellier series. You're going to be inspired to get books.
You are, yeah, because they do such a great job of referencing all these books that these people and these synchronicities kind of pop up in. And these books were written, some of them were written eons ago, some were written years ago, some were from a long time ago, but the things that kind of you kind of start to see, Secret Cipher of the Euphonauts. Yeah. Thank you, Cashew. You are a genius.
What's that about? What's that about?
At the wagon wheel. What's that? We hung out in Ashford. Who hung out in Ashford?
Endred did.
Matthew Bradley.
Endred Cold did.
He hung out in Ashland, Kentucky at the wagon wheel?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew said he did. Yeah.
He had a project he was working on?
Yep.
Okay, so that Woodrow Derenberger, who was the guy that had the contact with Indrid Cold when stepped out of the spaceship, that he actually has an interview. I'm going to have Cashy drop that link in the chat.
It's amazing to listen to that
interview with him,
with Derenberger. Yeah,
I never ever listened to it. Actually,
you should listen to it.
Yeah, it's like on television. It was like 1966. Is that when it was? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're not interrupting. You're part of the show, man.
Oh, that's right. Well,
part of the show.
I'll take it down then. Otherwise, I'm going to be over here sending links to Cashew.
That's all right. Cashew likes it. She's good with that stuff. So, Bigfoot, tell me more of what you know, because I know you. You are you're a big fan of this topic, and I know that you do your homework very, very well.
Well, I love the Mothman. Like, if I had to, if you had to pick a favorite cryptid, it's hard to not pick Bigfoot. I mean, because I think that's automatically most people's number one. But it's like close number two for me is the Mothman, and it's just that story, and then it's not even just the Mothman. It's just all the mystery that surrounds it. You look at John Keel and these conversations that he got phone calls from this mystery person saying you might want to get out. Something's going to happen. So John Keel left the area. It's not like the movie, The Mothman Prophecies. John Keel wasn't near the Silver Bridge when that happened.
Right.
He'd been warned to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more along the lines of where the prophecy comes in.
Yeah. He was warned. He stayed away from that area because of what Indrid said to him. And that's like you said, the mysteries of all those things. Like it's just so crazy. Like it's so neat to think about. There's this person who knew that these things were going to happen, person or being or whatever you want to call it.
I don't think you can call him a person. I really don't.
No. Whether he looks like one or not, I don't think matters. I think there's something else going on under there. But go ahead, Bigfoot. Keep going.
And then Darren Berger passed away, obviously. But
yeah,
his Darren Berger's daughter, Indrid basically became a friend of the family, and they would contact them and check in on them from time to time. And Darren Berger's daughter is still alive. And I can't say too much, but that's another part of Hellier is they talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn a lot more stuff about Indrid. Not only is it's not just Indrid, it's his son.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's the Cold family. It's
right.
It's very cool.
It's really interesting how all these things tie together. Just they somehow, things that you don't think at all in this show are going to have connections, and they do. It's just really, really interesting stuff. It's one of the, I think it's one of the most interesting shows I've ever watched. And I've watched it multiple times because every time I go back and watch it, there's something that I missed that I catch the next time. So yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, it's worth it. It's free to watch if you have the Prime.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay for Prime,
get ready for a binge.
A binge for sure. Yeah. But so it's worth it, David. It's really neat. Even if you're not, I think, fully engulfed in the cryptid field, just the mystery of it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a watch, man. It's just so neat, like how many things happen during the show that they're going, holy, like I cannot believe this happened.
Yeah, even if you look at the whole, even if you can't find yourself like committing to believing that that's real, even if you look at the whole entire thing as fiction, it's still a great story.
Yeah,
it's still phenomenal.
It is.
Well, I was gearing up a question. I didn't know how to ask it, but like I said earlier, being near where it happened, not far from where it happened, and not too couple years ago, a friend of mine took his daughter, same age as mine, down to pose with that statue that's there. They have a statue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so cool.
So my question revolves around this. I think once you create a statue, right? That's pretty much admitting that at least something happened here, right?
Right.
I mean, so that's everybody's acknowledging that if you're accepting a statue, not too many times do they put statues up just pure fiction. You know what I mean?
Right.
So enough people had to be invested in its reality to have that statue built. And that's what I was thinking. I was going to ask, what do you guys think about it? Would that be a pretty true statement?
I would agree. And I don't know if you've ever been really bored enough to watch any of my videos, I like to go back in time, and I like to look at, I like to dig up, my favorite is finding old newspaper articles like the New York Times and, even the local papers. so many of these stories were like front page news. Like there was full blown hysteria in the Point Pleasant area. I mean, people were like terrified to go out. And each day there was sightings of this Mothman, and reports of these strange men going around trying to silence people. It wasn't like it was just word for word stuff. This was front page news of the newspapers, and you can go back and look at all this stuff. It was somebody thought they saw something.
I know sometimes you can find like the biggest ball of yarn or whatever, like the tourist traps like that. But I don't know.
That's Western Kansas, by the way.
Yeah. But building this Mothman statue, I think that takes more commitment, because that would be a hard sell on the city, you know. If people weren't bought into it, there's got to be some truth to it. There really does.
Yeah,
I really think so. Yeah,
it's great for the economy. It brings people in, like up here local, closer to where me and my wife live. Did you guys ever hear the town Whitehall, New York?
Absolutely.
That's not far from here, and we go there often. And we go out on Abear Road. We talk to the law enforcement officers who were there that night in 1976. We're pretty good friends with one.
David, are you familiar with the Abear Road incident?
Me?
No. Not off the top of my head, but I'll catch on. You don't have to. But if you want to tell me, quick summary.
Well, it's just one of the most widely publicized Bigfoot sightings. It happened over several days. It was seen by many, including multiple, not only local police officers, but state police officers. And it turned into this tiny little town in upstate New York, turned into a flat out media circus. And to this day, it's like a big part of Whitehall's economy is that they have the Sasquatch Festival, which we proudly went to this year again. And
all right, okay.
There's a picture of the Mothman statue.
Yeah, look at that. That's commitment right there.
That is commitment for sure.
Well,
100%.
I also heard that it was like the second largest moneymaker in tourism in West Virginia.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably. Yeah. What do you think the first is?
Moonshine.
Yeah, moonshine or Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels, it's just in the dry county. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I think I think there's a lot of dry counties down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Abear Road, the true story. Yeah. So yeah, over the course of a few days.
Oh wow, you gotta look at that. Look at that. All right.
Yeah. And Bigfoot and his wife are friends with this guy right here, Brian Gosling. He was one of the police officers who was there to to investigate this. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Yeah, pretty cool. Brian is he gets invited to all these conferences and seminars and stuff to speak about this. He's very respected as far as his retelling of the facts of what happened and not sensationalizing it. Continue, Bigfoot. You were on the way to.
Well, I was just kind of making a comparison to, we see it personally with us because we watch the impact that has for Whitehall.
There's Abear Road.
Yeah, here's that's me and Brian.
On Abear.
That's on Abear Road. The incident was right behind us.
Oh wow, that's
awesome. All right, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and you could sit and talk to Brian for like hours, and we have, and because he thinks there's more to it other than just this animal that appeared. He
interdimensional.
Right. He's totally into a connection with the lights in the sky, because when this happened in 1976, that time period, there were UFOs sighted all over the whole entire Northeast United States.
Oh yeah,
plastered. But you look at that event, and to this day, it's still like a major part of their economy. And that's what I was pointing out. You go to Point Pleasant, and this is part of their heritage. So I think it's awesome that they're able to capitalize a little bit off of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a small,
Yeah,
small town. Like, get what you can out of it. It's the thing about these things, right? So I'm a firm believer that in every piece of folklore, in every story, comes from truth, comes from some truth, right? So what people
yeah.
right, like what if you have 50 people in West Virginia who are saying that they saw this being, this humanoid being with wings and glowing red eyes, who are upstanding citizens of the community. We're not speaking about meth heads, right? We're talking about there was a few elderly people, there were some people who were in their middle age, and then there was some younger kids who were out partying and saw it. All different types of people saw this thing, apparently. I love to say that, like, Occam's razor has to cut your way, right? At some point.
That's it.
It's easier to believe that all these people across this town in West Virginia, like, all made this up, or like, these people didn't know each other. They didn't have connections to each other. All this stuff was investigated, right? So is it easier to believe that they somehow all made this up all at the same time? Different parts of the town on the same night, some of them? Or is it easier to believe that this really happened? Putting up a statue, I think obviously gives them some tourist income for sure, but why not? Why not capitalize off of this thing that was so terrible? It was terrible what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
That bridge accident was awful. It was awful. And then Abear Road, same thing. Like, this happened over the course of a few days. This was not a blink your eye and it's over with. This happened over the course of a few days, and it was seen by many people. Police came to investigate. That tree, that there was a tree, right, that this creature walked around a few times, or it's not there anymore, I don't believe, though. The tree.
There's a telephone pole out in the middle of that field.
That's it. That's what it is. Telephone pole. Yep.
So yeah, these stories, they make a huge impact on people's lives, and you have to think, other than ridicule, what do a lot of these people have to gain from this? Because that's all a lot of them got was ridicule. You had local people, very respected in the community, who were just this. They weren't that kind of people to make up these stories.
Right.
They saw, maybe they were mistaken what they saw, but they're telling you what they thought they saw.
Right. They believed.
They saw, or have there still been sightings there of any winged humanoid creatures in West Virginia?
Afterwards?
Yeah, like recently?
I believe that there's still sightings of this thing, like, randomly throughout the U.S. now. I don't think it's just stuck to West Virginia. I believe that the Mothman is seen throughout the U.S. at different times, from what I know, anyway.
Like a harbinger of something bad about to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Generally, that's what people say, is that
Right.
if he's seen that.
So was there also theories that Indrid Cold was also the same person as the Mothman? Saw something. Well, I was reading something. There was theories about that also. I don't know if that's true. I mean, have you guys heard that at all? I mean,
I've heard that. Yes.
That Indrid and Mothman were the same?
Yeah, or Indrid just kind of shows up, like you were mentioning earlier, Kyle, like around the world in different places, like different sightings or similar types of beings or something. People are having similar encounters or something with that same type of person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I ever heard that they were the same person, but I may have. I don't know. But again, like, when you, for me, like, you can't ask me these things because my CTE acts up and I forget things sometimes. But so I may have heard that at some point, and it's easy to believe that I have, because it makes total sense why somebody would believe that. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I've seen that, and that's what people speculate. But also, what's the connection between winged creatures and Indrid's, visit, and then later on, is there any other, not documentation, but interviews or encounters into the 70s or into the 80s with Indrid or his sons and other people? Because you mentioned that Woodrow's daughter still, like, he supposedly had come to the funeral, right? Come to the funeral of that Woodrow guy.
Yeah, watch Hellier.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about because people, I think, are probably going to want to watch this after we talked about it so much. I don't want to give too much away, but his daughter is in contact with Indrid and Indrid's family.
Okay.
To this day, well, at least to that day, this was 2019, I think, when the last one was filmed.
Yeah.
And does she continue or does he continue to have like some type of discussion? I mean, what's the topic of discussion that Indrid's having with her as the years go on? I mean, what's going on? I mean, why is he still hanging around?
Probably better watch Hellier. It's there is, I can answer that, but
it would give away.
It would ruin some things.
I mean,
it would.
That's why we're here, aren't we?
I've also heard this, and I've heard this from multiple people, that there's a theory, and I'm kind of leaning toward this maybe being true, that Indrid Cold is one and the same with Cashew. I've heard it.
I've heard that theory too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, where'd you hear that theory? Whose theory is that?
just from around the block.
I've also heard that Cashew is the oracle.
I will say one thing: if it wasn't for Cashew, I never would have met. How do you do that? This guy.
Yeah.
And through Kyle, me and Lake have now met Cans, and
I met Cans through Cashew. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then I met David through Cashew.
And David, we met through Cashew. Cashew's like the glue.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a recruiter Cashew's like a recruiter bringing a team together.
And still your best friend, and then she'll smack you around when you need it too.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
She'll smack you around and give you hugs.
Yeah, she smacks you a little bit, then she'll give you a hug. Get back in there.
Right. Yeah. It's slightly abusive.
Yeah.
My smack on the butt,
Yeah.
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 So like, I won't go there.
Slightly abusive. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. If it's done right.
Yeah, if it's done right. Yeah. So let's talk a little more about since we're talking about Indrid, and me and Cans were talking a little earlier before the show started about some of the other the different types of extraterrestrial beings. They say that there's 12 different types, according to the guy that hacked
I'll Google that for sure, because it might have been more, but go on. Sorry.
Maybe more. Yeah, maybe more. The guy who hacked the server for the government or whatever, and found out that they had all these different alien races listed. The reptilians. There's the Zeta Reticuli. There's the Nordics.
The Greys.
Obviously.
Gary McKinnon.
The what?
Gary McKinnon was the name of the.
Gary McKinnon was the name of the hacker.
Hacker from the UK, yeah. Scottish.
Yeah, just so everybody understands, David Devine right now is on his YouTube Entertainers Union mandated smoke break. Union mandated. Yeah, so Gary McKinnon I'm going to look this up myself right now. For some
So,
reason.
question for chat, and Lake put it there. Sorry for the phone.
Hello?
Awesome.
Have you guys ever seen any strange lights in the sky? That just like Lake Fairy put, anyone ever see smaller lights rise and move around all over, very bright and small?
It's like they come from somewhere above, but they come
I
like
think Wattlife in the chat from Georgia, he was saying something about seeing lights in Georgia.
Wildlife said I saw a bright light at my brother's tree line this morning. It faded off quickly, Trish says. Oh, yes, there. I live right off Savannah River, but I've taken a few trips to northern Georgia. So how small are we talking?
like when you're in the backyard having a campfire and there's like little embers kind of flying around.
Mm-hmm.
But those are different. These are very, very distinctive, very bright, tiny little white lights. And they just kind of flutter about. Like they just kind of rise behind a house or a tree and just kind of buzz around about. And then I honestly get bored of watching them and I just go in the house. So like, I don't know if they still continue to go or how long.
Yeah, we see lights here all the time.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, those weird red ones are weird.
Well, Al from the other night, Al Santorica. Oh, by the way, since we talked about Debbie and all the people in Texas, sending all your positive energy and prayers to those people down there, we got to send some to Al and his wife. Al's mother-in-law passed away the day after the show.
Sorry to hear that.
So, send them some love and some prayers too. Al is coming back on the show the 18th, by the way. We're having him back on as quickly as possible.
He's packed full of information.
That guy has done everything. And we talked after the show for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. He was like teasing and saying that, I was going to tell this story and this one was crazy. It'll blow your mind. I didn't even scratch the surface of this yet. And I'm going, tell me. And he's like, nope, saving it for the show. And I'm like, my God, he's got so much, man, so much. He did tell me a couple things. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, crazy. So the 18th will be a great show. Very cool. But anyway, so the lights thing, that's strange to me. Do they fly in a pattern? Like, do they have a flight path, or are they just kind of floating about like aimlessly?
Yeah, they're just kind of floating about, kind of almost like somebody would be having a fire, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just usually one. It's not like a bunch floating around. It's one. It's tiny, but it's so bright you can't not unsee it.
A couple months ago, I kept encountering them for like 3 nights, and I kept filming them, and I would upload them as a short or a small video. And when I was filming them, you could see them plain as day. It reminded me of Tinkerbell, just kind of fluttering around randomly.
Yeah, it's weird, and they're close. It's not like they're far off in the sky or anything. Like I could walk up to it if I was that tall.
Yeah, and when it seemed like I uploaded it to YouTube like 3 or 4 times, and when I uploaded it, I couldn't see it. It wasn't there. It was in my phone, but it wasn't on YouTube. But one person did leave a comment, the Tinkerbell comment, that could see it. I couldn't see it on YouTube, so I just took them down because it looked like I was just filming a black sky. But in my phone, they're there. They are there. Yeah, they're just and to the naked eye, they were there. That's why I was filming it. Yeah.
So you've seen them too. That's so weird, and you don't live anywhere near them.
No. Yeah, I've seen them, and like I said, I had one comment that someone apparently did see it, but I couldn't see it on YouTube, so it looked like I just had 3 black sky videos, So they're probably just on private. I could upload them again, or put them public again, or whatever. But yeah, I seen it plain as day. Yeah.
That's weird.
Hey guys, I'm going to duck out for just a moment, and I'm going to have my awesome wife step in. I gotta go.
Go for it.
Answer that phone call that came in.
Go for it, buddy.
Right on.
It's crazy when you try to find things with keywords in a big search engine that starts with G and ends with E that you can't find things anymore.
What are you looking up?
Trying to figure out specifically how many races of aliens that McKinnon had found in that document. But the first 2 pages I get back when searching that are like, mainstream. And then after that, it's just like you can't find anything at all.
Let's see. I just had something here.
But I got to try to use different keywords to find it.
Well, so the science says that there are at least 36 intelligent alien civilizations in our galaxy.
Right, but that's an estimate of scientists. That's not the guy that hacked in and saw documents.
Right.
Supposedly top secret.
Right. 7 different known alien species. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see.
Do you guys think all aliens come from above? Because I think that some don't. I think that they come from, I think people sometimes are looking in the wrong direction. Thank you, Cons. Yeah.
I think they've probably been here as long as us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not longer.
I think you come from below.
Hey, Lake Fairy, how do you put together those graphics for Bigfoot Lake?
She doesn't. The aliens from inside the earth put them together.
Yeah, they're inspired by Andred.
Yeah.
So I take pictures here in the Adirondacks. That
Right.
picture is actually one of our secret fishing spots.
Yeah, Bigfoot Lake. We go fishing there.
Yeah, that's where we get our big bass. Yeah. And what I do is I overlay different pictures. So that particular picture, I can't remember how many overlays, but I added the fog and I added the Bigfoot. And I don't know how, though. This is weird. This is really weird. There's a little TJ Squatchy found a fairy house. And my husband's like, did you put that in there? And I said, no, I did not put that in there. It's so weird. But I think what happened is that the grass might have overlaid with like some of the part with a Bigfoot. I don't know. Something happened there. And that was not me. That was by pure accident.
But it's pretty cool. You have the Bigfoot standing there, and right at his feet is this little fairy house. So it's like perfect.
Yeah. So what happened when I overlaid the picture, when I brought the Bigfoot forward, that little cabin that was in that picture showed through the grass just a tiny little bit. That was actually an accident. Yeah,
that's very cool.
It wasn't supposed to be there.
Very cool.
I mean, I would show you. It's pretty. It's time consuming, but it's easy.
No, they look awesome. Every time I see them, I'm like, dang.
I use Canva and InShot if that helps you.
Not right now, but it will eventually.
She's very talented with that.
It's all right.
She doesn't give herself enough credit.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm having a hard time finding that too, Cans.
Yeah, I know. See?
What's he trying to find?
They just well, okay. Well, Gary McKinnon was this UK hacker who was going to be extradited from Great Britain or the UK. I think he was Scottish. I don't know where he was working at the time, but he had like hacked into a, I don't know, U.S. Air Force or the Pentagon computer, got into these documents. We're talking about aliens, and he actually saw something that said and named and listed and the characteristics of these certain alien races.
Oh, wow.
Here, I'm going to read this real quick because it's not that long, but it gives kind of an overview of what he found out. It says on March 19th, 2002, Gary McKinnon was arrested for hacking into 97 Pentagon and NASA computers over a 13-month period in what authorities call the biggest military computer hack of all time. McKinnon claimed claimed he found evidence of a secret American space fleet by way of a list of dozens of non-terrestrial officers and their assigned spacecraft, replete with USSS, United States spaceship monikers. Might the United States military really have a secret space program? And if so, are we preparing for a space-based war with other nations or other species? McKinnon claims that there are numerous factions of alien races with competing agendas visiting Earth, and that there is evidence they have been in conflict with each other for thousands of years. According to his claims, there's evidence that these wars actually took place here on Earth in the distant past, not between gods, but between extraterrestrial visitors. That's crazy.
It is.
That's right. Yeah.
then-
So, and if that goes on with that Indrid Cold kind of deal, I mean, that's,
Yeah. And you look at that report that Kyle, you guys are talking about, and then you take that and then you compare it against other things that you've heard and seen, just like Admiral Byrd and his flight over the poles.
yep.
And
Right,
his,
yeah.
the missing diary, or you read some of that stuff, and it's like what he described way back then is those descriptions match the things that you're talking about in this report. The Nordics and the Greys, and it's like and that's just one little example. You've got many examples.
Yeah.
I think some of those aliens are walking around posing as people as we speak.
Some of them were probably going to get some votes on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I'm sure we've had some in office many times.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they probably can. I think they kind of just download a consciousness real quick and kind of in and out to make decisions. Because they probably don't want to hang out in those skin suits of those losers in DC.
Yeah.
It's like, Houston, we need a new sleeve. This one's
Well,
broken.
yeah, they're so much more advanced than we are, that if they'd hop in our bodies and be like, oh God, this feels terrible. Like, what is this?
They just be like, later.
Why are my knees aching? What is this pain in my head? Like, they can cure themselves probably of everything and anything.
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah, they probably don't look to the pharmacy. Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, probably not. They're not looking to Chad Hurley's street pharmacist and his Rohypnol.
No.
So Life said he saw several light formations. Did somebody already read this already?
Mm-hmm.
Light formations in the sky like a triangle pattern. There was 9 lights total, making 3 triangles. There's some looks up there in the between. What's going on up there? You guys looked at each other when you said triangles. When I said triangles, you guys seen the triangles?
Why do porn sites pop up in my chat all the time?
Oh, get them.
They're gone. Cashew or somebody got them right away.
You
You'll
just got
still see them on the StreamYard side, but they're gone.
Terrible.
Okay, now isn't there actual like the TR3 or something that is the triangle thing?
Well, I mean, that's explainable, but when you got, one light here and then you got another one that appears and another one that appears, I don't think that plane sends one this way and that way, and they don't do that. Like, they don't do that.
So you guys saw a triangle-shaped one? Is that what you're saying?
See all kinds of lights, west to east.
So when when I was, gosh, how old was I then? I was probably in my like early, like maybe 20, 19, 20. We were taking a ride with a friend of mine, and we came like the road that we were on came down and took a turn to the right, and there were houses, right in front of us on the right hand side of the car, but directly behind those houses was Long Island Sound. And as we came around that corner, right over the water, I mean, directly over the water, not far at all, was what looked like the outline of a triangular ship. And it was gigantic. I mean, gigantic. I was terrified. We stopped for a second and then like press the gas and get the hell out of here now. That kind of terrified. It was huge, and it's
like a mile large, like super, like city large. I mean, I've heard descriptions that are like, quarter mile long or something.
Quarter miles. How many feet? About 500. No, 400. About 400 feet.
1320.
Right? That's a quarter mile.
Yep, isn't a mile 5,280?
Oh yeah, why am I thinking it's 1,500? Yeah, no.
Magician over here.
I wouldn't say. I don't think it was quite that big. Maybe 1,000 feet. Yeah,
1,320 feet.
It's possible. It's possible. It was huge. I mean, it was huge. It blocked out so much of what was behind it. Like it was just, it was big, man. And I kept trying, like, questioning yourself, what the hell was that? Did we just see a blimp? It was a blimp, had to be a blimp. But
Yeah.
We see funny lights all the time, and I have since I've lived here in the Adirondacks, but as of recently, and Cashew probably knows the exact date because I told her all about it. But there was I called to Bigfoot to come hurry up and get out here, and he caught the tail end of what we saw. They were oddly, weirdly, very red. These were weird though. Like it wasn't a plain. Actually, my heart, like, I don't know, my chest gets really. When you're gonna go to the fun park the next day, but you're also nervous because you don't want to go on any rides that is going to make you pee your pants. That kind of feeling. Yeah, this is very recent, and I'm not comfortable with what I saw at all, like at all. And that's the first time that lights in the sky actually made me feel that way. There was one coming from the east. And as it was going and going and going, I'm like, well, that's a weird looking plane. Like, why is it glowing that color red? First of all, it's not normal red. So no big deal, right? And I'm just sitting on the porch, standing on the porch over the railing. And it's completely pitch black. We have no street lights, no nothing, no neighboring towns to light up the sky. Like when it's dark, it's dark. You have the light of the moon and the light of whatever you have around you that you add to the yard. So I was watching that. And again, I'm out by myself at this time because I'm just interested in what this is. Well, then I seen one of those bright star looking things that I always see, which I try to cough that up to like Beetlejuice or Geist or Sirius or something like that. But that thing does some pretty weird stuff. I've gotten video of that and posted it. But then there was this other craft that come over the same kind of red light coming from the west to the east. And just as I thought they were going to collide, that's when I yelled to my husband. But when he was coming out, the one that came from the east went boom and then just stopped there, while the one that came from the west just kept coming along. And it's just maybe because it was so recent that I feel like I can't breathe, like just thinking about it, because these were not our normal pretty glowy white lights that are doing weird things. You know, those ones. Maybe because it was red. I don't know. I don't know. They don't make me feel good at all.
Well, I think there's something to that too. I mean, I fully believe in we were talking when Al was talking the other day about having gut feelings his whole life, you know, and not realizing that what those gut feelings really were being sensitive to certain things around him. And I believe intuition obviously is a real thing, and there's a reason that we were born with it. So I think that if you're having a bad feeling about them when you didn't about any other, there's a reason. I don't think it's just a coincidence or some weird fluke. I would say, there's probably something going on. You're pretty sensitive to things anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like hearing those things that I used to pick on Bigfoot about, like basically right out in not our backyard, but like not too far off from our backyard is where one of the biggest castings came from. And I've only heard sounds. I've never seen them. And I don't want no hearsay hallucinations. That's all I'm saying.
You what?
I hear hallucinations, I said.
Oh.
I've only heard sounds that I've never heard before since 2019. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Other than as far as the Bigfoots, I hear what I believe to be them. I've never seen one.
Those Adirondacks are just strange, man. They're a weird place, and it's so big. It's just so vast that
it's beautiful.
Cashew just put the exact time of Lake Ferry sighting, because I'm sure you got a hold of Cashew.
Yeah.
There you go.
I told her some personal information that happened that night too. I love you, Cashew. 10/17, October 18th. Wow, it's been that long. Feels like it was just not too long ago. Well, that wasn't too long ago.
No exsanguination, blood draining. Why are we blood draining? What are we talking about blood draining for? I'm lost. I didn't know
Cattle
what.
mutilation.
Huh?
Cattle mutilation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're all over the place. So the lights. Here's the crazy thing, though. I think like I said a lot. I believe all this stuff is connected in some way, some shape, some form. In paranormal investigations, people see lights, people see orbs, people catch EVPs. In Bigfoot research, people see lights, people see orbs, people catch EVPs. In alien and UFO research, people see lights, people see orbs, people catch EVPs.
Look at some of Ron Moorhead's stories.
Yeah.
I mean, the orbs and things that he saw, even in the Sierras, it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Some of them seem to have almost like a thought process to them, and some of them look like they have stuff inside them. Like when you look at it, the inside looks like it's moving, like something's in there.
Yeah, there's a theory about that. I'm going to drop a name of a book in the chat where I listened to the one of the authors of this, where he talks a lot about it being a kind of a plasma consciousness that comes through from other dimensions. And a lot of the things, the theory is that a lot of these things are connected together, and a lot of it is in a way to deceive us in a trickster type of presentation. And a lot of it has to do with you as the observer of this energy, of this other consciousness that's manifesting itself through the dimension and through what might be energy, in a plasma type of deal.
There's some of the reports from Skinwalker Ranch. They described what you're talking about, looking out and seeing this light, and then they would take like either some type of scope and zoom in on that, and they would see like humanoid figures crawling out of this thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
A lot of these lights too. If like in videos, it'll be dark, completely dark, right? And there'll be these lights in this field. They don't have ambient light. They don't light anything up around them, but they're bright. They're bright, but they're not giving off light outside of themselves. It's like
Right.
the light is
Right.
contained inside this orb, and
Right.
somehow, some way, it's not escaping the orb to light things up around it. How is that physically possible?
That's one thing I failed to mention during this experience on
Well, thanks a lot.
the 18th. They were close enough where I said to my husband, where's the sound? We should be hearing some kind of sound.
Mm.
They're planes, right?" And I told him, like, they're planes, right? And they were making no sound at all.
They're not
Like,
planes.
at all.
They're not planes. How many times you heard people talk about seeing crafts in the sky, and big giant crafts in the sky, multiple crafts, and hearing nothing. No,
Absolutely.
nothing at all.
Well, see, that's all new to me.
If they hear
Yep.
something, and it's not often, but if they hear something, it's generally a light hum. That's it, just a light hum or a buzz.
I heard nothing.
Yeah, nothing. It's because these things, they're not being propelled by the same kind of technology that we have. Meaning, they're not being propelled by some kind of gas-powered engine where it's having to burn fuel and then thrust behind itself to force itself forward. They're somehow either harnessing gravity or changing their gravitational pull using some other form of technology. If you could learn how to harness gravity to your advantage and manipulate it, it would make no noise, or maybe it would make a slight hum just based on the fact that it's being manipulated in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would military powers or just governmental powers do for that technology?
Oh,
They would
they
do a
do.
lot, right?
Yeah.
You've probably seen
They'd make an agreement with the aliens that allow them to experiment on us. maybe.
Exactly.
exactly.
And what are we giving them, or not us, but like, what are they giving them in exchange?
DNA.
Travis Walton, Mr. Walton.
Travis Walton. There
I
you
know
go.
you're watching right now, sir, because this is the most popular podcast on YouTube. This is the #1 podcast in the world. That is a fact.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is in fact a lie.
Yeah. I saw that. I Googled that actually.
Yeah. If you see it on Google, it's got to be true.
But they were trying to reverse engineer those orbs that at Area 51 they had been given testimony of, the orbs that could create their own gravity.
Yeah.
Check out. There's a channel called Alien Scientists, and it's a guy that's been researching this stuff for like 20 years. And he follows all the patents. He goes back to all the patents of what's really out there as far as anti-gravitational and what is owned and what can really happen. And it'll blow you away because you look at it and it's like, Jesus, we can do that. That's this technology exists. I mean, a lot of I'm not going to get into it, but I mean, a lot of that stuff, that those UAPs that you're seeing, I think is our technology, and I think it's projected in a light laser spectrum that the naked eye can't see part of it, but can create mass of some type of plasma also, and be manipulated that way. And there's actually patents for that stuff out there.
We rented a car in 1998, and we drove out to Area 51 to figure it all out. And by the time we got to the gates, I was scared to death. It was fun. It was funny because the girls in the car were screaming, "Turn around!" Because because it's well protected and it's way off the beaten path.
Absolutely,
And,
it is.
And you pretty much should have a Jeep instead of whatever we had, a Capri at that time. I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah, they're
here's the thing, right? If you look back, hold on one second. Yeah, fresh. Okay, anyone heard of the Tartarian Empire?
yeah.
Have you heard of the Tartarian Empire?
No.
Man, this is another crazy. I'm looking it up real quick because I don't remember exactly.
Finish your story, David. I want to hear the Area 51.
Oh yeah, it was just real quick, and I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody, but
No.
again,
No, you weren't at all.
everybody, it was way out. You rent a car in Vegas. We were in Vegas. We were young, and I was into Art Bell and Area 51 and blah blah blah. So, I had a few tips. We went out, we drove, we found the Little Alien Inn, which is a truck stop out there, and because there's no marking, like aha, you've arrived at Area 51. You don't know where you're going, but you're in the right spot, especially with that Little Alien Inn, which I'm sure is still there. Well, when we were in there, we got directions to where we should go from a Time Life photographer who camped out in that area, because he told me that they would do test flights on new aircraft and stuff like that. That he would try to get snapshots of them flying upside down or doing whatever. And so he told us go back a little ways from where you came from towards Vegas. Find I think it was a white or black mailbox, and then, turn in there and you could drive right up to the gate. Well, so we turned in there, but like I said, you should have a Jeep or, a military vehicle, because it was just like a Jeep tracks and bouncing and just massive jackrabbits flying across the thing. And it was a pretty good drive. And the closer we got to a light, people were starting to get scared, including me. But, we kept going. We went right up there to the gate, which I think was probably one of the gates. Remember when they were doing that Area 51 thing a couple years ago, the kids, when they were all going to storm Area 51?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty close to where we were. But the whole time, you had Black Hawk helicopters pointing lights at you. They were aware. People were scared. And so obviously we weren't going to do anything, but it was, I don't know, for some reason, it was just a challenge I wanted to do. Well, but we got up there, but it was scary, man. And we turned around and it was scary.
Yeah.
There's no way you could enter there. No way.
You get in trouble if you get too close, right?
Yeah.
Sure you
Yeah.
do.
It tells you, we went right up to where it says, you will be,
Shot.
it's in, I don't think it said that, but it alluded to it. Yeah, it alluded to it, and it definitely said it would be criminal trespassing. Yeah.
Dave,
But,
another place I find very interesting is in Alaska called Harp. And the people that fly over there, and they get seriously ill, like to the point where like they have flu-like symptoms. That's very interesting.
Yeah, because Hart probably because the amount of energy that's coming from that place. But that was just something I wanted to do, again, because of Art Bell. But it's just I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend it.
A scary experience.
The aliens wouldn't recommend it either because they got captured.
No. But so obviously there's a mix. There's either a mix between unique military vehicles and other stuff, because but Harp, same thing. I bet people get sick because the massive amount of energy it probably puts out,
Oh yeah. I mean, it's proven that just for certain people who are sensitive to different types of energy, electromagnetic and whatever, even minimal amounts for certain people can make them sick, can make them dizzy, can make them confused, can make them ill, like physically ill. So imagine what that amount of energy would do to people. It's probably not fun. But getting back to the
No.
whole tech thing, like technology, I want you to just think real quick, everybody out there. Think about how the leaps and bounds in technology that we have made over the last 100 years. Think about it. Think about where
Oh.
we were 100 years ago. Okay. Then fast forward 20 years and think about where we were 20 years ahead. Then go another 20. Then go another 20. And now look where we're at. Look what we're doing right now.
Right.
Four of us are face to face.
Doubling its pace than it has been.
Yeah,
Mhm.
four of us are face to
everywhere.
face right now in different parts of this country talking on a computer. Would you have thought in 1982 that we would be doing this right now? It would sounded really cool, but would you think that it really would have happened?
Yeah.
And could it have happened on their own, or is this happening because they had something to study? I'm thinking the latter is probably more close to the truth.
It's interesting.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm not following you. What are you saying?
I'm saying
I think
that
I think
we
they
have
had.
this. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Dave.
think they had it. I think they had it. They just had to lay the groundwork on. The only thing that aggravates me is that as they ramp it up, they made us pay for it every step of the way. You had web TV, you had crappy video cams.
Yeah.
It's just that they had to set the infrastructure up, and
It was a
and
slow, profitable release. It wasn't a one-time dump of what the technology was available. Just like
right, exactly, yeah,
if you, I mean, and all this was developed with our dollars and by the Defense Department or
yeah,
the
yeah.
national security infrastructure.
No,
So I'm sure they've got toys and things right now that will blow our minds, and so we're just kind of in the shallow end of the technology for the daily consumer. But yeah,
Oh, sure,
agreed that it's amazing. But I had not one of my relatives actually worked for Southwestern Bell back in the 60s and 70s, and can remember that there were AT&T labs had stuff going. There was essentially, they told me it's like in the 70s, that phone you see on the Jetsons, you're going to have that soon. You'll have that soon. So there's a lot of technology that's out there that it will be a slow release, because it's just
right.
it's profitable for the people that own the rights to that technology, and that's why
Yeah,
they don't want to give. That's why they don't want to give it away to the third world either. That's like why in developed nations we have a higher technology comparable to other infrastructures for other developing nations, and to them they're just like, well, you guys already got that technology. Why don't you just give it to us so we can catch up with you and then develop? And they're like, no, hold on, man. You're not going to develop that fast. And in fact, we've got
Yeah,
to milk you for money for about the next 50 years.
well, I remember I was in Japan in 2006, and I was amazed that the person that was driving us was paying for all the tolls and like food and stuff with their phone in 2006.
Yep.
I couldn't even use my phone in Japan, and here she was just doing what we're doing now
Yeah.
in 2006 in Japan. Yeah.
Well, a lot of that technology you're talking about, a lot of it's useful, obviously, but how much of it's got a nefarious purpose
Sure.
behind
Oh
it?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what in the
At what
heck
cost?
are they trying to accomplish with CERN?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
With CERN?
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
colliding
I don't- yeah.
particles to do what?
That to me, that's terrifying. You're talking about playing quote unquote God. You want to create a black hole. What's on the other side of that? You want to
I
create some
played
kind
the
of port,
sounds for you.
huh?
Remember, I played the sounds for you.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
You should hear the sounds of Saturn. That's way more terrifying than that black hole.
It's terrifying.
What do you know about the age of Saturn? What's that all about? Have you heard about that at all? As far as
Well,
the coming ages of and what Saturn signifies?
well, Saturn's actually old, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say nasty people. All right, I have to be careful.
Yeah.
People have there's a certain group of people
Careful.
who follow Saturn, and it's very how do you say ritualistic? Is that the
Yeah.
word?
It's not the same thing,
Yeah.
but watch Hellier.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
really? It's
so-
in there too. Okay. All right.
Well, put it this way. In New York City, I've never been there, like since this has happened. Okay, but there's a memorial there now, and it is the cube, the black cube.
Right. I know where you're going. Yep.
Okay, all right. I have to be
Yep.
careful. I think you guys pick up what I'm dropping.
I got it.
I want to be
I
careful
have
because
no idea.
I don't.
Saturn has a lot of darkness attached to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah.
make anybody upset or uncomfortable or anything like that, because I believe that if the paranormal, the big feet,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. 100. Yeah. I
you
get
know,
it.
everybody who studies and researches could just come together for a little while and just be a little bit more open-minded to everything, instead of, oh well, I'm the paranormal society, so I'm not going to hang out with the big feet people, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We might actually get a little bit more research done.
I agree 100%.
All pieces of the same big puzzle.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
a UFO guy. I don't really research Bigfoot stuff. It's like, really? Because
That's
everything.
because you UFO people are crazy. That's why.
Yeah.
Mama,
I know,
we're
and
all crazy now.
And us
We're all
people who
crazy.
believe in a giant, hairy stick Indian in the woods aren't, you know, totally sane.
You guys know what I mean, though, right? Like,
I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
still
it's
don't.
you don't
Well,
know what I mean?
Kyle, his name is Sasquatch, but you wouldn't know.
yeah. They made the reason they made it a black cube. Is,
Yeah.
is a interesting read. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that what you meant, Cons?
Yeah, but I want to show you something.
Now I got to look this up.
I don't know how much I could talk
You're
about.
going down
on
the
that
rabbit hole,
subject,
brother.
But
I know.
some of
This
that
is Encrypted
very
Connections,
sinister.
brought to you by White Rabbit Productions. Remember. Wait till you see the new intro video I made.
I'll be right back. I can't wait to see it. I'll be right back. I'll be listening, but I'll be right back.
Another union
Very
break.
cryptic.
Another union break.
I want a union. Yeah, calm down. He can have union breaks.
He needs to go
Yeah,
calm.
he absolutely
Calm
can. He's a rock star. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
It is true.
I mean, have you ever played with Marky Ramone? Shut your mouth.
Have you ever heard of the the painting Satan summoning his legions?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's very sinister. Yeah, I'm not into conjuring or summoning anything, because you know what? You never know what's going to come through.
Agreed. Share a little screen here. There you go, Kyle. Share that.
Who are those two people?
Jacob Rothschild on the right.
That's the
Oh.
Rothschilds.
Yeah, you gotta
And
be really careful with
Maria
that.
Abramovich on the left.
Who's Abramovich? I don't know that one.
She's a
An-
kind of
another.
a spiritual guru to some of the high entertainers and
Hmm.
Did you
elite.
notice her really long dark hair?
She was
I
the one that
do.
was doing.
Is it long? I can't even see her neck. Where's her neck?
Yeah.
And she has a turtleneck on.
Well, the thing is the painting.
Look behind them.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm looking at that on my phone right now.
And it's also has to do. Doesn't have something to do with Saturn also. Like there's some symbolism within that painting of Saturn also. So it's about the coming destruction age of Saturn. Is that what I have heard?
Yeah, there's a bunch of demons basically attached. I don't remember all of their names, but it's a like
Oh,
you
right,
said, it's a legion of names.
right.
So I am legion, we are many. Does that sound familiar?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that would be a good little segue into.
Yeah, that's one.
I've made some pretty creepy videos on Saturn.
But just FYI
Yeah.
for everybody,
Yeah.
that's one you got to be careful of on this platform.
what?
Yeah.
That whole rabbit hole we just talked about. You could kind of got to tread lightly on that one.
Yeah. So it's more about Saturn than anything else.
Yeah, Saturn.
Saturn.
Janelle says, "Yeah, we don't want Kyle banned. They'll ban you for talking about that."
You have to be careful with the people that you talk about, the higher up names of money.
You remember and now I'm not going to give this away, but in Hellier, there was that group that nobody could talk about because
In
bad
town.
things would happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. It's got me all nervous.
Good thing
That's
it was. Don't
That's
do
sad that-
that. You did not just do
It's all
that.
good.
You're gonna see Lake Fairy lose her stuff all over a Bigfoot.
See, this
I'll
is where this right here, though. I'm going to tell you right now, okay? I'm a nice guy. I think I am anyway. I think I'm a decent person. I try to do good. You don't push me. You don't bully me. You don't try to intimidate me. You don't tell me what I can do and what I can't do. Okay? So I'm not saying you. I'm saying no. I'm not saying you. I'm saying YouTube, whoever. I don't give a it. I live in America. Last time I checked, I was allowed to talk about whatever the hell I want. It's one of my God-given rights.
It's true.
To shut somebody down for sharing an opinion or a theory or a fact about a group or another person or it's not only disgusting and cowardly and a form of bullying, but it's also it violates everything the Constitution is about. And to me, that I hold that thing in very, very, very high regard. There was a reason that was made, and
Absolutely.
the men and women who made that, who sacrificed for that and for those freedoms, did so because they believed 150% in it. This is not King Henry's England or this is America in 2022. So if you want to ban me. I'll make another channel, and then I'll make another channel, and then I'll make another channel,
I've even put the Constitution in the description of my videos, but I've been taken down 3 times.
Yeah. Well. Oh well.
I had to wait. Like, you have to be careful for 90 days each time.
Just for mentioning their name.
No, just anything. Even if you have cited in the description where you got your information from, you can type in your rights, all that you want. Matter of fact, one of them, I think they hit just because I put the Constitution in the description.
Because you didn't make the Constitution.
No. I mean, it was what I was definitely was because
They
of
were
what I was
just
talking
saying
about.
that that's not a defense. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you
And we
too,
agree
'cause
1,000%.
Number one, as soon as I put an age, immediately the very first suggested term to come back was Age of Saturn.
You know why, right? It's because your computer heard us. I'm not
you'll probably
joking.
get emails.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You'll
It
get
hurt
emails
us.
now too.
Yeah.
I'll get and if they were still making Saturn cars, I'd be getting like car ads.
Yeah. So guess what? If they ban this, then join us. Catcher says join us on EnCryptid Connections number 19. I say join us on the Boats and Hose channel.
Oh God.
And then if that one gets banned, join us on the channel called Many Leatherbound Books.
I'll tell you though, when my first, they waited until I monetized. They let me monetize. Then they gave me the warning the half hour after my monetization went through. A half an hour later, they hit me with a warning. What was it? 4 or 5 days, maybe a week later, they hit me on a video from, let's see, at the time it was like 4.5 months prior that I had deleted after the live, and they hit me for it. That was my first.
You
Then-
deleted it after you're live, and they dinged you for that.
Yes.
These
But they
dirty,
waited
dirty
4.5
people.
months later to ping me on it.
Sure.
Yep. So then every time that happens, you're in a 90-day watch. They like watch you.
You're on probation.
It's strange actually because you can talk all day as much as you want about Bigfoot. You can talk as much as you want about aliens. You can talk about demons. You can talk about many things
Don't
that
talk about
are kind of controversial. But they have this list that you need to not talk about.
Yeah.
especially if
Do they
it's
give you the list? Will they give it to you?
Terms of service.
We know we have a list. Yeah,
You do?
yeah. We had our hacker when he hacked into that the alien names. We also got that information.
Hey Chad Hurley. Chad Hurley, bite me. Take your stupid ascot, your handful of roofies, your toy poodle, and shove them up your ass, pal.
Did you know poodles, when they find poo, they can't help it. They roll in it.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
And-
That's why they call them
and-
poodles.
Has David been abducted? Because I feel like he's been like on this union break for a really long time.
He snatched him up because he was talking about Uranus. Hey, on the next show, the brothers of Uranus are going to Saturn.
Oh, hey David, we weren't talking about you or nothing.
Is it really
Chad
David?
is smoking and handing out free muscle relaxants.
David's next broadcast: chloroform and muscle.
Dang, I
relaxant.
wish I went to his house for trick or treating. Could have been an interesting bag of treats.
Join us on the new channel. Chad Hurley can suck it.
I heard that. I'll be talking to Mummy about your comments.
I liked it the night that David was doing that. You had a accent going on that night.
David did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
yes, mummy.
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
I
gonna
thought you were
I'm.
doing a, I thought you were doing a Thurston Howell the Third imitation or something.
I was just checking my schedule.
Schedule, that's what it was.
That's what started the whole thing. Was
Yeah.
Hope said she said something about Chad Hurley. I was like, who's Chad Hurley? She said he invented YouTube, and I go, oh yeah, Chad sounds like the type of person who would invent something like this. And then David starts laughing, and then he said something about schedule, and that was it. We were off
Oh
and
yeah,
running.
I was done. Everybody was laughing.
Hope hopped right up with her pad and was like,
me-
Thursday's no good.
Yeah.
She was so
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She was on it like that. It was great. Oh man, that was a fun night.
That was fun. That was fun.
You can't not go to David's streams, and if you don't have fun there, it's your fault.
Yeah. David's streams are definitely very fun. They are.
Yeah, we try. Yeah, we try to have fun.
when you're new, you always make everyone feel so welcome.
He does.
I have a question for Cans.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been watching the last few short videos you've been putting up. I was curious, what river is that?
The Mare de Seine.
Okay, and
Where are you, Cans?
Just outside of Kansas City, just right suburb of Kansas City, just south on the Kansas side.
Okay. All right.
Looks like a beautiful area there.
Yeah, there's an older video on there where I go back to what is called the Mare de Seine massacre site. Where
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it was the border. It was the whole border skirmish between Kansas and Missouri back during the Civil War, pre-Civil War, actually, to where border ruffians were coming over from Missouri, and Kansas raids were going over to Missouri, and John Brown, was a abolitionist, and
we've had massive discussions about John Brown on my show because of somebody that comes in. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he was there. The John Brown Museum's just right down the road in Osawatomie. But anyway, there was a massacre there where like 6 people got killed. There were the Kansans by some Missourians, and actually John Brown used that as part of his motivation to take up arms and make cross-border raids against the Missouri ruffians, which actually ended up, and don't quote me on this, I don't know if I got this all right, but it eventually ended up in Quantrell, coming across from Missouri into Lawrence, Kansas, which is about 35 miles east of the Missouri state line, burning down Lawrence, and then going back over across into Missouri.
It's a lot of history there.
I think I saw a movie like Ride with the Devil was a movie that was about it, about the Quantrell's raid, and then Outlaw Josie Wales. There was a little alluding to the fact about the skirmishes during the Civil War.
I just have to hop in real quick. Cashew, he said the Mare de Seine, not the Mari East.
No, that's it. That's it.
I'm joking.
No, I've tried to spell that so many times that I just got to go to Google and try to type it in.
Yeah, I would have missed that one.
What's going on, Connor? Welcome, brother. Welcome.
There's a National Wildlife Refuge down there also, and they've got migratory birds that come through there. I got a couple different vids on there where I see a lot of pelicans in the spring.
Jayhawks?
Cool.
Yeah.
Any night hawks?
Yeah, nighthawks, red-tailed hawks, bald eagles.
They're not regular. They're not regular nighthawks. They're night hawks.
I love
There's
eagles.
a pause. There's a
I never
pause.
get tired of those.
Special kind of hawk.
I like how Lake Ferry calls those birds pecker birds.
They are pecker birds. They're
Peck, I like that.
the
I
big
like that term.
ones. We have lots of pecker birds in the yard.
I had never heard that term before, but that's funny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I haven't changed since I was little. It just I don't know. It's just that's what they are, and that's what they're gonna stay. So
I like that. I like that term. Yeah, pecker.
no, my father still just shakes his head every time. Except for now, he can't shoo me in the house. When fire trucks go by, he used to shoo me in the house. He's like, shh, because I couldn't say, yeah. I could say fire. I just couldn't say truck.
My
So,
brother couldn't either.
Oh,
for
okay, all
years.
right,
My
all right,
brother
all
couldn't
right.
for years either. Nope. Nope.
but the other day, one of those the pilated ones that was like 2 feet high, it was out there like a jackhammer. I was like,
Pilated pecker birds.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
heard
like
that.
I
Heard that
think
one.
this thing was like AI because it wasn't normal. Did you just spew your coffee all over?
Oh, she got a spit take. I love spit take.
Nice.
Go back. You can
I love
rewind
spit
that. You
takes.
can rewind that.
AI
Screenshot that.
AI pecker bird.
I love
Yeah,
I love spit takes. Yeah, I
yeah.
love spit takes.
Love it. That was great.
Oh yeah, yeah, nice.
Guess what? Hey, when I edit this video, that's going to be on a loop over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Could be,
you
Oh yeah.
make that the thumbnail.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
great. You keep it up, Kyle. You'll get another video sent to you.
Oh, that was
No,
brilliant.
that
That
was
was
funny.
that was brilliant. I watched it over and over again, and I laughed
I
so hard every time.
wouldn't ever put that up. I
I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't care. What do you think I care? I sent it to Cashew right away.
Did you? I mean, I can make more and send them
Listen,
over.
Listen, as soon as it said and have a poop, I was like, oh yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to play it for everybody?
Play it right now.
Yeah.
Play it.
Laughing and spit takes.
This is me at my best. Pardon the language.
Best thing you can.
Okay. let me go get it because I've done lots since then.
I think she's working on something for David next.
No, not,
Oh, I love laughing and spit takes. Those are my two favorite things.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
you still have it.
Probably.
I have it.
oh, here we
Share
go.
it on your screen. You're the director. Pull up another tab and play it.
It's me here to tell you to have some water, have a poop.
Hold on.
All right,
Hold on.
I found
Was
it.
that you,
You
Kyle?
found
Was
it?
that you?
All right, go ahead, play it.
Morning, you beautiful bitch. It's me here to tell you to have some water, have a poop, and have a great fucking
This is what I do in the kitchen while I'm cooking and things. I have to like stir
man.
things. I have my phone on the counter and I'm making things. Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna
That-
get a break.
That right there
that's great.
captured my essence
That's great.
perfectly.
That's so good.
So that was just a
It's so good.
deep fake. That would
Yeah. Yep. Deep fake.
Awesome.
Yep.
I think there's rumor that was the other Kyle who was on the stream with us earlier at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? So no one knows which Kyle's the real Kyle because, as we all know, a few, like about a week or so ago,
That's true.
one of the Kyles went missing. Did you guys not know this?
I hadn't heard that.
You hadn't heard that?
I saw
No?
something on your
No.
community page about it. I think.
Yep. One of the Kyles went missing a few weeks ago. So here, I'll show you. Yep. This guy, this Kyle.
Oh. Oh no.
Ah, that's true.
He went missing. Yep. It says super talented, incredibly handsome YouTuber missing. Yeah. So, and it says
We're gonna have-
It says at the bottom, 42 years old, 6'3", last seen wearing Kansas City hat and tidy whities. Please,
Escaped from where?
please call Cashew at 1-800 exactly. And nobody else will understand that except for me and Cashew. But it's a little inside joke.
Oh, well, almost pulled down.
We're gonna have to start putting out some wanted posters or some find me posters.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my first piece of merch.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be pretty good.
The missing poster. I think those pictures are great, by the way. I mean, I think that's modeling quality, posing and photography.
It's very good. Very good.
Yep, I think so. We've been all over the place tonight, haven't we? Which is
there was something we missed. I thought there was something. Oh, I think it's David's Ramones jacket.
Oh, you've seen that already, though, right?
I have.
Yeah.
That's. I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth on it. Now, you said you had it, and then one of the Ramones took it from you and got it all put together?
Yeah, well, yeah, they had it. It was my jacket that they had the embroidery made on it for the Rock Hall show.
Right.
All right, so then I was so proud to have it. I mean, I was like, man, this is amazing. Well, we were back at his hotel room, and he took it back to New York with him. And I was a little bummed out because I had it for one day, and it was my jacket. But
It was
yeah,
your
his
jacket.
wife
You
said,
wearing this around the whole time, and it's like you've had this jacket for a long time.
yeah, a little while, yeah, and then he took it to wear it to do a show in, and then his wife said, hey, send it back to the kid, So he did. He sent it back to me, and I took it for the first couple tours that we did go, but when we were going down for the first time in Mexico and stuff, some of the venues didn't have great security, and people were trying to steal it all. They were trying to steal it all the time. So I stopped touring with that. I just have it. It's autographed, and then I just wore another old leather jacket that I had because it was constantly someone was trying to steal it all the time when I would take it off.
Yeah,
it says something that you had a backup old leather jacket. That's just so cool.
Yeah, that's Rockstar.
Yeah, which I felt more comfortable, which fit better. This was something that I think I had got this jacket to replace that old one. I have them both just hanging over there.
Yep.
But yeah, to protect that one, I didn't take it anymore. After, I think in it was Tijuana or Mexico City or Mexicali. They kept trying to steal it. So it was just something. It was too valuable to keep taking out. But
probably the cops probably trying to steal it.
The crowd was out of control because they didn't have great security.
Right.
So, and there was a time when I saw the bass player had to defend himself with his bass and protect. It just was crazy. And actually, Charlie, who is our tour manager, who was in Big Bang Babies, and he was in a lot of Charlie and the I can't remember. Yes, he's just a really great Hollywood guy. He lives in Arizona now. But actually, when I'm talking about that night, someone actually stole his leather jacket because they thought it was Marky's. And this is a jacket he had for years, all through the Hollywood, years with pins all over it. All these pins he collected for years, and all this paint and something that was so valuable and personal to him. Someone stole that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Me and David found out recently that we have some other things in common besides YouTube channels. We're also Star Wars fans.
Yeah. We got to do a stream about that.
We do. David did an unboxing on his channel, an impromptu unboxing of this really cool collectible, the twins. It's unreleased. It's not out yet. Somehow he found the only one in existence that was released prior to the release date. It's a limited edition as it is.
And he opened it.
And he opened it. Yeah, I know.
Only for the people on YouTube. Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll go back and get another one that he's not going to open. But it's pretty cool, man. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've been my whole life. I absolutely love Star Wars. I remember watching the very first one when I was a kid, and I was just stuck. Like, wow, this is amazing. And I collect Star Wars stuff, but I got into custom lightsabers. I'm talking about these things are insane. What they do, insane.
Really, they are. I saw the pictures. They are insane. There's no doubt about it.
He didn't even see with the blade in. So the blade, it has strips inside of it, LED strips, and there's like I don't know how many 100 mini LED lights in these things, right? And they can all individually do different things. So you know how Kylo Ren's blade is on fire in the movie? This is Ollie, by the way. He's the pain in my ass every time I'm live. He comes in my lap and he tries to attack everything attached to the computer. And then when I try to pull him away, he digs his claws in my leg. Otherwise, he's a wonderful cat. But somehow he just thinks he deserves to be on YouTube.
You're not giving enough attention. That's it.
And his butt needs to be in my face. So like in the movie, Kylo Ren's blade is on fire, right? Well, the way that these things work, and they have a computer chip in them now. I'm gonna kill him.
Death of Ali on the
go away. Thank you. They have a computer chip in them, so you can program different songs, different noises.
Wow.
If you take the tip of the thing and you touch it against a wall and you drag it down the wall, the tip alone looks like it's hot and on fire and like it's melting the wall. It looks like it deflects blaster shots. I mean, these things are insane what they do. I'll have to bring one on and show you. Oh, you don't want to know.
1,500.
They look good though. They look good.
The blade alone, just the blade with the lights in it, is over $100. But the hilt, okay, so the hilt is the handle part,
right.
And you can get ones that are from the movie. So like you can get the Graflex like Luke had, or Obi-Wan. You can get replicas of those, or you can have some custom made. Well, I have 3 that are custom made. I have one that literally like is a mashup of my two of my favorite things in the world, which is Star Wars and wrestling. So it's a shiny aluminum hilt with like a chrome finish, and it's engraved with pictures of the Undertaker and like tombstones and his sayings on it, and then the championship belt, and then you stick a blade in the thing, and it's Star Wars. Like, it's crazy.
Dang. Yeah, that's gonna be a long live stream, man.
It's crazy.
It's for real. Yeah, we have to do a Star Wars live stream. Yeah.
We do, bud. We do. Because I have a Vader helmet. I have all kinds of silly stuff.
Yeah, after you left that comment, I said that after your comment, and maybe you didn't see it, but I said we have to do it. And I've been, because I have stuff here, but I've been slowly bringing things out of bins now, because I'm like, if we do a live stream, we gotta
Well,
show some things.
I'm looking right behind you at your cabinet, and I can see what I think is Darth Vader right over your shoulder.
Yeah, that's the ultimate real one, which it has an endoskeleton, right? So you could pose him in all the different poses from all the movies, and it has different things you could. It's a super cool one. You could, yeah. That's
Awesome.
It's called a hyper real one. Hyper real Darth Vader. I think they made Darth Vader and Luke, but they're really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, just so you guys know, like the Star Wars like thing is pretty big still. It's huge.
Bigger than ever, really, because they have so much product coming out. They really do. They have Andor now. a lot of animated stuff. They're going to go back to different movies, the comics. I mean, it's bigger now than ever. Really, it really is.
Andor was great.
Yeah, it
Andor
is
was
great.
great.
Yeah, a couple more
Mandalorian,
episodes.
I think, was the one though. Mandalorian so far for me was the best one that they've had as far as the shows on Disney go.
That was a good one.
I also cosplay. I cosplay as Leia with Jabba.
Oh, okay. Are you Leia?
I'm Leia.
All right, I got
And
it.
you wear
Makes
a
sense.
fake prosthetic Jabba around?
Yep. He's attached to me.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
I was going to say that earlier tonight if it was slow. I was going to say because this is a true story. My daughter was spending
slow.
before I came on tonight. My daughter was spending an hour making fun of me because I'm going to my first, which I'm ashamed that it's my first because I should have been to more. But it's the first opportunity I had. But tomorrow is my first Comic-Con.
No way.
Yep. My very first Comic-Con. Yep.
So fun, man.
Yep.
So fun.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. I'm sorry, I have.
Oh man, that's great. Listen, you're gonna have a blast tomorrow. You're going. Oh, I'm so jealous, dude. So jealous. That's so awesome.
I've been trying to go to a bunch. It just never worked out. Had to work. Whatever. Tomorrow I could do it. So I can't wait.
Awesome.
Dude, I have to say something real quick. Mike Standard, are you still in the chat, buddy? Please tell me you're in the chat still. I don't think I sent you that message earlier. Oh my God, I didn't. Mike, if you're still in the chat, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to block out your phone number so people.
Oh, there's Mike right there. Yeah,
Mike, dude, I meant to send you this message way earlier today about tomorrow, and I didn't hit send. It's still on there. I'm trying to block out your phone number so people can't see that part.
Yeah, careful. It's just a white screen. There you go.
Look, it's still on there from way earlier today. I never hit send. I was asking if you wanted to come down tomorrow still in the morning.
That's great, Cons. I love that.
It's been documented. That's awesome.
I meant to send it, Mike. I'm so sorry, dude. Like, I don't know why I didn't hit send. I did this like 3 times today too. I don't know why, but yes.
It's a sign of getting too many texts.
Cashew says I'm calling Mike right now. Yes, tonight on EnCryptid Connections, we give out other people's personal information, including phone numbers.
No.
We will dox you.
Funky text about losing weight.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, Mike, I got a question for you, by the way. You don't have to answer this on here, though. Any chance you drive something with 4-wheel drive? Is that any chance you do? I drive a Prius right now, and while it can make it to the location, it was a little hairy last time. Let me tell you.
Wait, you actually really do drive a Prius?
Yeah, absolutely, I do.
Don't.
Did she laugh at me?
She was watching another movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was watching a movie.
You want to hear something? I get laughed at constantly about this because I'm a big guy. Like, I'm not a little dude. I'm a big guy. I'm about 6'3", like 280 right now. You know, I'm fat right now. Usually I'm about, like, normally healthy, I'm about 240. So I'm just a naturally big dude. And in a Prius, it's pretty funny. And I'm heavily tattooed, you know, like, I look like the last person in the world who'd be driving a Prius.
Do you like it though?
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean,
Listen,
matters.
Bigfoot 6'5.5", and like You should have seen him getting
Drives
out
in
of
his
his,
Zuzu Samurai.
yeah, like, what was it, the Trans Am?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should see him get out of that. That was
Not bad. Nothing wrong with a Trans Am.
Yeah, that's a great
no,
car.
there wasn't.
That's a great
It was
car.
sharp, and yeah, but no, we have. I don't think you could have. I don't know. We have a 4-wheel drive because we need it. We need that. Well, the winner. One side of the mushroom will make you larger. The other side will make you smaller.
You're genius. Oh man.
It's a trip, Cashew.
9'6". I think I was 8'8". I think is what I was. 8'8" and 24, 23 inches, something like that.
Like baby.
Something like that. That's great. Yeah, 9'6", what I'm trying to get down to. Yep.
That seems like a healthy weight. I think that's what it's good.
Yeah, very healthy. Very healthy. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, listen.
Is it good on gas though?
It's crazy on gas. It's crazy. I get probably 44 miles per gallon around there. Anywhere between 40 and 40. Between 40 and 44 miles per gallon.
Going uphill or mountains or like,
What's that?
You don't go uphill much, like up mountains or.
I do, because like when I go out researching, I go like that's what I was saying. Those when I go to that place that I call the Big Void, it's in the state forest. It's literally trails. They're just trails. They're dirt and rock trails. They call them roads, and they have signs on them. But you're surrounded every side of you for probably 8 miles every way is just forest. And wide enough for one car to fit, maybe two of mine. I don't know, because it's more like a rolling womb. Basically, it's like a womb on wheels. Right. Is what the Prius is.
Maybe
my brother calls it the motorized vulva.
What's he drive?
He drives a big truck.
What was the name of that wildlife place you were talking about? Where you go?
The research place that I go to?
Yeah.
It's called Patchogue State Forest. I call it the Big Void just because it's like it's just very creepy, man. It's really a creepy place. It's so just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Even when it's sunny out, it's dark. Like it's the canopy is just makes it dark. Plus it has a lot of paranormal history attached to it. In certain parts, it was built over burial sites, and it's just a creepy place, man. Creepy.
Sounds creepy.
In Delaware?
Cashew has a new name for your.
No, Connecticut. What's that?
Cashew has a new name for your Prius.
She does. Womb on wheels. What the wow? Yeah, the womb on wheels. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow wagon.
No.
Wow wagon.
Yeah, when you go to places,
We gotta hop in the wow wagon.
When you're there, it's just like this feeling that you have.
Yeah, because I go to I've been trying a bunch of different places over the last like month or two. Each weekend I would go to somewhere different, just to see, and like when I was in Sugarbrook, the two different sites in Sugarbrook, one of them I felt a little bit like I was kind of being watched a little, but it never felt heavy. Never felt like heavy. That heavy feeling where you're just like, whoa, like something is gonna go on here at any moment. And that's exactly how I felt the second I turned down that trail. Because this is what happened. I meant to go to a different part of Patchogue that I knew from going there a long time ago, but I knew it because we had gone so many times. And it's this one road. It goes down to the pond, and there's a parking lot down at the end. It's a dirt road, but it's wider. It's much more driven, so it's easier to maneuver on. It goes down to the pond, and then there's a part of it that goes off to the left, and that just goes back out to another road. It's not very long, so it's just an L shape, but if you keep going straight, it goes to a parking lot. That's it. So I was going to go there and then just walk off into the woods a little ways, but I put in my phone to go to Patchogue State Forest and Griswold or whatever, and it took me somewhere completely different that I had never been in my life. Well, I hadn't been there to the spot that I was initially trying to go to for a number of years. So when I got there, I'm like, this doesn't quite look right, but maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. And I went down the road, and all of a sudden I'm driving and I'm going, yeah, I don't know this place at all. And then every side of me is like, you're just surrounded by woods. Well, then what happened was I got to this spot. This is all recorded. I recorded this all live 2 weekends ago. I look out my window and there's a tree that's probably about that big around, right? And it's probably 10 feet out my window in the field, and maybe 7 feet up. It is twisted around, broken and twisted. I'm talking this thing. There's no way in hell that weather could have done it. There's no way wind could have done this. This tree was big. It was not some tiny tree. Okay. It was like this big around.
Right.
Then I drive a couple more feet and there's another one. Then I drive a couple more feet. There's another one. Then I drive 15 more feet and there's another one. Then I look out the other window and they're on that side too. They just kept on each side of the trail, pointing at the trail. Every one of them. Tell me weather did that.
Well, we had a tornado go through down the mountain, and I never seen anything twisted, and that's the only thing I could think.
No, because they break. They just break. The wind will break it off
right out of the ground, but nothing.
Or rip it out of the ground. It'll either rip out of the ground or break. It doesn't get twisted.
No.
You have to have hands in order to do that. It's just, it's not possible. And how is it possible that 10 feet off the trail on either side, all these trees are pointing towards the trail, opposite directions. So these are pointing this way, these are pointing this way. They're broken and I'm talking ripped, twisted, 360 degrees. These things were like this and then again wrapped around. I'll go back
how high off the ground?
Between 7 and 10 feet, every one of them. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yep. You walked the power line there?
Have I walked the power line there?
Mm-hmm.
No, never walked the power line there.
No.
There's a looks like there's a big cutout on the western side of those trails. Looks like there's a big power line.
Yes, there is. Yeah, there is. But I've never walked it. No. Nope. I've just gone off into the woods and found some weird stuff, heard some weird stuff. Last weekend when I was there, I heard what I thought was a lady singing. So it was melodic. I mean, I definitely heard a melody to whatever was going on.
Yimbrin Park, that's there too.
Yimbrin?
Yeah. Yimbrin Park.
That doesn't sound familiar.
It's
should be Patchogue Forest, Hopeville Pond. You're in Connecticut, Cans?
Yeah. Check the screen. We got Patchogue over here.
Patchogue State Forest.
Right there.
Okay.
And then Yimbrin.
No, I never knew that was there.
But that's the big cut line right there.
So look, see if you can find Lawrence Road. It's not actually a road, it's a trail, but it has road signs on it.
We got Fire Tower, headquarters, cutoff.
Mount Misery.
Yeah, that's like right when they show the top topography here. That's kind of one of the higher parts right there.
Yep.
through here.
And then there's the brook. Yeah. Patchogue State Forest. There's Beachdale Pond, nature's campsites.
Yeah, there's all the water down through here hiking.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's a dense. In certain spots, it's very dense. In other spots, it's a little more open. But where I go into that spot, it's dense, man. It's creepy. It's lots of big, tall trees, lots of pine, really tall
it's like
pine
right over
trees.
there. Right.
Yeah, man, it's dense. It's crazy, and I was lost last time I went. I didn't know where I was, not at all.
Yeah, the woods can do that. It can definitely turn you around. We have a lot of pine where we are too, and I've always thought thick pines had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to be that woman, but I need Bigfoot to finish.
Yeah,
daughter.
it's
No,
okay. We've been on for
we're
2 hours.
actually putting flooring down in our daughter's room.
No, we don't really care what you're doing. We're
Yeah,
just
so like, and then tomorrow we have family coming over. The whole house right now, her whole room is filling like 3 other rooms right now.
Oh.
And we have to get the floor down to put her bed in so she can,
Sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Okay.
need to calm down. We got to calm down.
Calm it down.
Calm down.
We got to calm
Yeah,
down.
it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes anyway. I guess it's
But thank
probably.
you for having us up though. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
it.
jumping on.
it was
Yeah,
a
thank you guys for coming on. This was fun. I needed it. I didn't want to cancel the show. I needed to be with my people, so I appreciate you guys being on with me tonight. It's been a good time.
It was nice finally talking with. Is it
Cans.
cans?
awesome.
It's cans, not okay. Cans,
It was
right?
awesome.
Cons.
Yeah, great.
Can you answer
Great
me a
stream.
question real quick before we get off?
Great stream.
Why is it canned squatch? Where did that come from?
I think Larry asked that same question the other night on the Beast channel when we were out at LBL. It was just a way to come up with just another handle because everybody else had a different handle on there, and I was like, I don't want to be Squatch necessarily, but it's just a play on words.
Okay, I like it.
Kansas and Kansas.
That's
the
okay.
That's the old post office. Postmark was KANS for Kansas.
All right,
Okay.
right on. Kansas. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the
I like that.
SQ there. So
This
it's a little
sucks.
play.
Everybody's got nicknames. You're Can Squatch, David Divine, Bigfoot Lake. I'm just Kyle.
Well, no, you're encrypted connections.
Encrypted.
Yeah, you're-
That's
Connection
my
number 19.
channel. That's my channel. That's not. I don't have a name. I need a handle.
Oh,
No,
I
you
see.
need like a Danish Y maybe.
What's a Danish
Name.
Y look like?
I don't know.
I need
I
a
think-
dot.
does it have
I'm going to
little-
eat a Danish when we get off the show.
Yeah, I
No,
was
like
good with the Danish
like
part.
above,
yeah.
above the
Danish
Y,
flash.
like a little umlaut or a little half pyramid or something over the Y to make it. So
Those
people
two
can
little dots.
Is it Kyle? Is it Kile? Is it Keel? Make them guess.
Kylie.
Oh, remember the teacher who got pissed? He was saying everybody's names wrong.
Oh, Jay Quellen.
Have you
Oh my
guys
God, I
seen
remember
guy?
that was awesome.
A-Rod.
Yeah.
A-Rod.
Oh, that was
A-Rod.
great.
Block
mom-
it.
You know what happened? My mom cursed me when I was a baby. When she gave me my nickname when I was a baby, and she cursed me because
Sounds
I
like
was
Mother Leeds.
she did. I was a healthy, I was always fit and in shape forever. And then all of a sudden one day that nickname caught up to me. And I put on all this weight. Do you want to know what that nickname is? I'm going to share it for the first time with everybody
What's
ever.
that one again?
It's Munchie.
That should be your name.
Munch. That's what she calls me. To this day, 42 years old, she calls me Munch. Yep. Hi, Munch.
That's
How you
kind of
doing,
cute.
Munch?
Though.
Yeah.
Remember those little
Yeah.
munchie cheese? Remember the munchie cheese?
Yeah.
Oh
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, when I came out of the womb and I was ready to eat anything and everything she put in front of me, didn't matter. I'd eat it. 9.6 ounces, buddy. You'll get there. All right, guys, that's enough. We've had a wonderful night tonight. Please join us next time when the Brothers of Uranus get back together for a reunion tour. And David, tomorrow night, Saturday night show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
10 o'clock.
11 o'clock probably.
11
Probably.
o'clock. David Devine broadcasted the Saturday night show. 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you're always kind of late. I'm kind of tired by that time.
Yeah, I have to because I'm going to Comic-Con and who knows what's going to happen.
True.
Yeah. So
If I drink coffee, I'll be able to stay up. I think that's my new thing now.
I mean, I'll try to start it early for you, but I can't promise it, Cons. But I will shout it. I will shout you out for sure. Nice meeting you tonight, actually.
Yeah,
in person.
nice meeting everybody.
Bigfoot, you got a show tomorrow? Bigfoot,
Me?
do you have a show tomorrow?
No, not till I won't be live until Tuesday. I have a pretty special guest.
You do.
Yeah, his name's Munch.
Oh, Munch. Oh, I
not-
know that
we
dude.
are
I know
not
that
doing
dude. I know that dude.
You know
You
what? Wait till you see the intro I'm going to make for that stream.
I shared this in confidence, okay, with friends, amongst friends. All right.
All right, I respect
All right.
that.
All right. Cans, you got a show coming up?
I think I might have one next Thursday. I was just informed about that by Mark on Larry's show last night. I don't know.
Next Thursday?
This coming Thursday, I think. But
Okay.
I don't know. It'll be 8 o'clock on Thursday on Beast TV. I'm not really sure what it's going to be about.
Okay, well, watch out for Cans on Beast TV this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. David Devine tomorrow night at 11 p.m. And I will be back. I don't know about tomorrow, but I will be the special guest on Bigfoot's channel on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Make sure you take care of yourselves. We'll catch you on the next go-round.
Yep.
Good
See
night.
y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.